Call the meeting to order. If everyone please stand for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sound for cell phones. Ms. Settle, we have roll call, please.
Mayor Plummer,
Here.
Commissioner Brooks.
Here.
Commissioner Fields.
Here.
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Here.
We have a quorum and ready for the transaction of business.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Whitfield.
Thank you, sir. First on the agenda today, we have approval of the minutes from the June 10th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the minutes from the special meeting of June 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, motion carries. Next, we have a second reading of ordinance 2025-16. It's the fourth quarter budget amendment. Brad, did you have anything to say about that, or?
The only thing I really did want to kind of point out is a minor change from the first reading to the second reading is we're adding on the utility fund about $52,000 in for the flood insurance policy. Really, it's just kind of moving it around in between departments to get it into the right bucket, so to speak. So that's really the only change that was made from in between now and the first reading.
Okay, do you think we need to read that?
Yeah, I'll read the summaries as we do. So this has as amended, we'll have the beginning fund balance as of July 1 of last year is $10,045,103. Total revenues for the fiscal year budgeted now at $13,837,229. Total funds available of $23,882,332. Budgeted expenditures of $13,837,229, leaving an estimated ending fund balance as of June 30th, 25 of $10,045,103. And then on the utility fund side, this budget amendment has the beginning fund balance. Of course, it's the same as $5,334,561. Budgeting revenues on the utility side now of $29,063,497. Leaving total funds available of $34,398,058. The new budgeted expenditures are $29,063,497, leaving an estimated ending fund balance on June 30, 2025 is $5,334,561. So we need a motion.
Yes, I would entertain a motion to approve this ordinance.
So moved.
Got a motion from the mayor,
I'll second.
second from Stan. Roll call, please.
Mayor Plummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Fields.
Yes.
Commissioner Gray.
Yes.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have a second reading of an ordinance establishing or changing the meter fees which support our E911 service. Roman, you want to?
Okay, so this, the change here within section 30.0111 raises the monthly charge from $7.25 to $10 on every water meter providing service and located within the city of Paris. This takes effect basically, if I'm gonna say this right, on the August bills. So it's on the bill generated as the end of July 31, 2025. So the July bills were the same. August bills will show the increase.
Okay, this was discussed at last meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve this ordinance. So,
Second.
a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Fields.
Yes.
Commissioner Gray.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Plummer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on, we have the consent agenda, which as you see goes from A through M. Is there any one in particular you'd like to pull and discuss? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I guess will our human resource manager be starting soon?
Yes, after we approve.
Okay. I didn't know if there was the notice been put in a previous job or whatever.
She does have, there'll be another, it'll be the second week, I believe, of July.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. That's all. Move to approve consent agenda.
So, second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise, motion carries. All right, next for the regular agenda. Chad, if you don't mind coming up, got a request for the purchase of the 19th Street water tank booster pump. This is a kind of an ongoing issue that's been going on up there, and Chad, you brief us on that, please.
So back in spring, we had a small leak in the booster pump that actually has since formed the 19th Street tank out into the system. We did a couple of repairs that seemed to not take as we expected. So the next best scenario was to go out for some replacement pump. And as you see, we got a couple of bids back. It was slim pickings for the bidding, but I recommended that we go with air hydropower on it, that 22,000 change, 23,000. That's the installation, pump and installation labor. The other bid we got was for a pump and motor complete replacement at 49,000 and change. And we didn't, the motor that we have is in good shape, and we didn't see the need in going that route.
So the issue before you is just approving this purchase of $22,986 to get this pump and repaired, replaced, and back in service. Entertain a motion.
Will you all be doing the installation, or will somebody else be coming in?
This company is going to provide pipe fitters because the pump that we're replacing is about 60 years old. So the new pump there's some matchup issues there. So we're going to get some professionals to come in that actually that work for this company and handle that, because that's definitely beyond my level of expertise.
Okay.
Is this in the budget or is
This was not in the budget.
not in the budget?
This is something Brad and I talked about at a previous
We're
meeting.
gonna move something around or
Yeah, we've got,
something that he thought he was gonna need, he's not needing it.
right, we've got some, room to move some things around, especially in this fiscal year, to even then just carry it over into next fiscal year. So, we pretty much got it covered either way.
So move that we purchase it.
I have a motion from Commissioner Fields,
I'll second.
second from multiple people, Mr. Galvin.
We can make it work in the budget.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fields,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Galbraith,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Plummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That brings us to the May financials.
Thank you. So starting on page 128, we have the cash balances for the utility fund. See, our total operating funds were at $7,580,000 at the end of May. If we look at the end of April, roughly about the same kind of balance, and then prior year, looking that over as well too, we're up about $250,000. One thing I do want to kind of point out is on the CD balances, you'll see we went from we were up to $3,400,000 compared to $3,130,000 at the end of April. We did go ahead and roll $250,000 out of the savings account into the CDs. So that's why you're kind of seeing that overall increase, and operating funds roughly stay the same. Really no major changes in the overall restricted funds that we have. So you can see total cash balance on the general fund was at $11,182,934 compared to $10,519,535 at the same time last year. Interest income, we're up to roughly about $373,000 for the year with a return around 3.6%. Moving on to the next page for utility fund cash balance, you'll see that our cash balance was at operating funds cash balance was at $929,825 at the end of May, down just a little bit from April where it was at $966,000, but we are up year over year, where May 31st last year was at $760,000. CD balances are roughly about the same. We did not take any extra funds at this point in time to roll into those CDs, so kept those pretty well consistent. The other thing just to point out in the restricted funds is just the continued drawdown on the bond proceeds. So we're now down to $2,484,000 with some of the projects that are going on, giving us a total cash balance at the end of May at $5,273,000. Looking at the same time last year, pretty consistent at $5,280,000, and just down slightly from the end of April where it was at $5,320,000. Right now, year-to-date interest, we're at $218,000 for the year with a return of 4.14%. Moving on to the CD pages. You'll see here we have some new maturity dates. So we had about 4 CDs that matured in May. We did roll those over into some 3, 6, and 12-month kind of maturity, so that now we have CDs maturing every 3 months in the general fund, and roughly trying to keep the balances either right around $1 million or $750,000. I think as they start maturing in August, we may start adding some more balances onto those CDs, probably just get everything up to $1 million on those. And the utility fund pretty much is, as I said previously, keeping everything kind of consistent. Those are timed with potential purchase or delivery of some trucks on the utility, on the electric department. So keeping those kind of liquid to some extent so we can cash those in fairly easy when those trucks are delivered. And then moving on to page 131, have the trailing 12 months revenues on the general fund with the 5-year trends. You can see from the main revenue sources at the end of May, we're at $9,720,000, about $855,000 from the prior year, or 9.65%. So still kind of trending in a good direction. April and May, we saw good collections on net profits and also on the insurance fees. And then moving on down to page 137, we have the trailing 12 months for the utility fund. You can see just a quick breakdown. Water is trending in a positive direction, about $150,000 year over year positive. Sewer is staying pretty consistent, right around $29,500 increase. Electricity is starting to show a recovery, around $330,000 year over year. So looking a little better in the utility, or on the electric side as well too, where we've kind of been breaking even. Next page here is just kind of the overall breakdown, number one budget and by department, just trying to show some summaries. Change in net assets down on that on the page there, you can see the general fund, we have 1.6 million to the positive, and then also on the utility fund, we're a negative 56,000 right now. We do have some timings with payments on construction contracts and deposits that are coming in from number one draws on the bond proceeds and also KIA. And then we also have about 1.1 million still kind of outstanding in purchase up. So I do anticipate as we kind of get into doing the June financials and some cleanup in July and August, we will be more in a positive position on the utility fund. Moving on to page 139 and 140 is kind of a more detailed line for you on utility fund. You can see there we have total revenues of $13,716,000 at the end of the year, with expenditures at $12,078,000, giving you the 1.6 million of revenues over expenditures. Still, like I said, trending positive on the general fund. I think really our three to four revenue sources were all still kind of over budget or projected to go over budget on each one of those. So staying pretty positive with those outlooks. And then on the utility fund on page 141, you can see our actual revenues right now are $17,100,520. Expenditures at $17,157,000, giving us the expenditures over revenues of $56,000 or $57,000. As you kind of see in the projected column there, I think as we kind of go through and start cleaning up some of the POs and finalizing some of those things, you can see from a projected standpoint, we hope to end the utility fund about $1.3 million of revenues over expenditures for the year. And that's the financials for the month of May.
Thank you, Brad. Any questions, Brad? I'll entertain a motion to approve his report.
So moved. Second.
A motion from Stan, second from Mr. Craig. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Galbraith,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Plummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Fields.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to outside agencies. Miss Betty Ann, you want to go first?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Betty Ann.
As you all know, or you may not know, the governor released the economic impact of tourism in Kentucky probably 2 weeks ago, and was just beside himself because for the third year in a row, tourism in Kentucky is up. So as well, tourism in Bourbon County was up, the numbers for economic impact. In Bourbon County this past, for 2024, employment was 173 jobs, labor income $5.8 million, state and local taxes $1.9 million, and the total economic impact was $28.9 million. Last year, the total economic impact was $28.5 million, so it did go up. So people are doing something right. So we keep getting people to come to Bourbon County. Part of what I do, as you all well know, is share and post on Facebook. And you wonder if you're reaching anybody sometimes, and you see a few views. So I ran some analytics. Now, this was 2 weeks ago, so it's probably bigger numbers now, but the downtown pages had 129,617 views. Funny Mail, that look at that page is 22%, female 78%. The tourism page, it was 36,391 views. Same thing, 22% of those views were male, 78% were female. One of the posts that I put on, the one where Terry was here with the news, and it was Allison and myself talking about what a fun time it is when Terry comes to visit. It alone got 11,541 views. That's probably the most we've ever had on one view, except for the Secretariat stuff. We did get a lot on that one. So for all the people that still say, I didn't know anything about that, 129,000 people knew about it. So, and we still do see that. So I don't know what else.
Could you give us a hard copy of what you just reported?
Sure.
Okay.
We have the would you like to have one that's current, more up to date?
Sure.
Because this was a couple weeks ago. I
Sure.
ran it for,
Sure.
okay. We're really happy to.
Okay.
Because I can get you more information.
Okay.
With that said, on Facebook, I don't know if you all are following or have seen our little treetop tourist that has come to town to visit, Loudmouth Louie. You all know what I'm talking about? If you don't, you need to do hashtag Loudmouth Louie and see all the adventures that he has had since he came to town. Allison may tell you more about that, but we certainly have had a good time with that, and it's certainly attracting a lot of attention. The chamber in Lexington even contacted us, said, we're following every day to see what he does. So
He sure does get around.
he does get it. Today he's at the courthouse because he has very important business to do. And he did sing at the community choir the other day in his text. So if you're not following it, you need to. It's a lot of fun. Just some things that have been going on in town that we promote, that have happened and are gonna happen. Of course, there was a festival on 5th on Friday, had to be moved inside, but it still was successful. There was the Weekend in the Park and the pickleball tournament that Rotary Club had, and it was extremely successful. The Voyage Movement is having summer camp through July 30th. Juneteenth was, of course, on June 19th, and June 20th, Farmers Market Night Market, very well attended. The longest day of play included Allison's 5K, she'll talk about that, and then yoga by the YMCA, she'll probably tell you all about that. That same day, the historical marker unveiling on the courthouse lawn at 1 o'clock, marking the lynchings of 3 African Americans. That was very well attended. There was probably 50, 60, don't you think, Sharon? Well,
And about
at least
92 degrees, yes.
yes, it was 92 degrees.
Yeah.
Then tonight again is the community choir at the Presbyterian Church at 7 o'clock. It was, I attended on Sunday. Very, very good. If you have a chance, you should go to it. The Bourbon County Horse Show is completed. The fair's going on. Golf tournament coming up Friday. Hopewell Museum Jazz Weekend, July 18th through the 20th. Truck and Tractor Pull, the 26th. Fresh Paint Open Air Painting Event is August 2nd, and then the next thing I know of is Legends of Bourbon County, so it takes us through October. I gave all of you all one of these. This is Road Trip. We have the inside cover for Bourbon County. It is a supplement to the Grant County News, so it's advertised. These are things that happen in Eastern Kentucky. So we advertised in it last year as well. Any questions?
One thing, on pickleball, they had 60 pickleball.
They did?
60, yeah.
I knew it was, there was a lot of people when I was out there. So that was very successful.
Thank you. Allison with the check, please.
Morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so, like Betty Ann, I've got some magazines there in front of you. We won't call it hot off the press, it's warm off the press. But those, we just got, I believe, beginning of last week. So, that is the 2025-2026 Let's Talk Bourbon County publication put out by the Chamber. We have decided to do that as basically a 2-year publication moving forward. So, for instance, by July 1st of next year, you'll have a 26, 27. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do that magazine. But I think they turned out really, really well. You know, Lauren started it, and then I sort of put some finishing touches on it, and then sent it off to print. So any feedback that you've got, I am absolutely open to hearing it and moving forward with. Just a couple of updates on events. The Tour de Paris 5K was a success. On Saturday, we had record numbers at 105 runners who registered. Special thanks to our presenting sponsor, which was Central Kentucky Vet Services. And then our sprint sponsors were Hunt Brothers and Hinkle Contracting. And the police department, Paris City Police, were wonderful. They led the race and helped block streets and keep all of our participants safe. So we're very appreciative to them for all of their help. Like Betty Ann said, the Tour de Paris was part of the longest day of play event. So at 8 a.m., we kicked off the longest day of play with yoga in the Wallace House Arboretum. I have yet to get numbers back on that, but I will report those once I have them. Then at 9 a.m., like I said, we had our Tour de Paris 5K. And then from 11 until 2, we were at the Legion Park with lots of vendors, whether it was informational vendors who had maybe an outdoor activity to do. There were also some food and drink vendors. And then we had bounce houses. It was a lot of fun. We did a bunch of giveaways. So that was a partnership between the Chamber, the YMCA, and the Health Department, and the Bourbon County Schools was pretty involved in that as well. So really fun, longest day of play, hot, longest day of play, but it was a really good weekend. So this Friday, we do have our postponed date for the golf scramble. We're up to 19 teams. Our goal was 25, so pretty happy with that. We have sold all of our holes, so we're just kind of putting the finishing touches on that. And like I said, that'll be this Friday. We'll start that at 12:30 with lunch and registration, and then 2 o'clock is when the teams will start. We do not have a Coffee and Commerce, which is our monthly networking members only group that we do due to 4th of July being the first Friday. So we're going to take July off, and then we will reconvene on those on August the 1st, which is the first Friday in August, and that'll be at 9 a.m. over at the Paris-Bourbon County Public Library. We've got Bluegrass Care Navigators hosting for us on August 1st. So we will likely move forward with those in the mornings. We had one in the afternoon, and we have learned that afternoons are not a great time or day for our participants. So we'll keep those at 9 a.m. moving forward. We do have a couple of ribbon cuttings, excuse me, coming up. So DAC Games, which will be located down at 604 Main Street, they actually open today at 10. If you've not been down there, he's painted the facade and put up his decals in the window, and it looks incredible. Like it pops. It's just so pretty. He's used some really bright colors, and it just looks really good. So he'll open today at 10. So make sure you go down and support. But tomorrow at 10 a.m. is going to be our official ribbon cutting with the chamber. So if anybody's available, we'd love to have you. We are doing next week. I will be unable to attend, but I do have ambassadors who are going to attend on my behalf. I'll be on vacation. But the greenhouse at Paris City Schools they'll be doing their ribbon cutting, and that is July 1st at 10 a.m. And then we have Southern Shine Car Wash finally opening in Paris over by Walmart. Their ribbon cutting is July 11th at noon. And we'll continue to keep you updated on ribbon cuttings of other new members as they come in, because they are coming in three or four a week. We're really seeing some momentum. So it's been a good month in the chamber. I know last time that we met, I presented to you the dates for Festival on Fifth. I do want to say thank you to the city staff and to the police for all of your help and just working together as we figure out what we want to do with Festival on Fifth. But we are going to put Festival on Fifth on hold until we determine the status of the downtown entertainment district. It makes the logistics of that event very difficult. So like I said, I appreciate all the support of staff and police, but I will be sure to keep you posted on what the future of that looks like. So, and then lastly, I wanted to tell you all, yesterday I went to an economic development simulation, and I felt like it was something I needed to do just because economic development is sort of a tier of the chamber. And it was something that I didn't have a lot of, experience and knowledge in. So took it upon myself to go to the simulation. It was put on by Commerce Lex, and I learned a lot. So I was actually put into a group, and I was part of the site selection team for my company. And so I got to go around to 3 different, simulated cities and learn about what their city had to offer and, compare it to what we were looking for. And so it was really neat. So I'm trying to find different things like that I can learn and just improve my knowledge so I can do better in the chamber. So I think that's all I've got. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Allison, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.
Appreciate it.
Any other outside agencies? West Side have anything to? Okay, we'll move on to city staff. Any staff have anything? Fire department, don't want to talk about the rescue yesterday. They had a heat-related accident that came up yesterday on a roof, and they had to do pretty much a high-angle rescue, right? So the training paid off.
Spent a lot of money for our training that paid off yesterday.
Police department.
I can get up on there, yeah.
Right.
No.
Good.
Well, couple of things, the fire department rescue, the power plant, because of the heat we're running today, it's gonna be very hot over there. When it's 90 outside, it's 110, 120 over there. So those guys will be generating, probably come online around 10 or 11 and go till 8 tonight, and expected to probably do it the rest of the week because of the temperatures. A reminder, we only have one meeting in July. It'll be the second meeting, July 22nd, and right after that meeting, we are scheduled to have a joint meeting with the county. So that will be a full day, 22nd. Mayor?
I had nothing. Wallace?
I think Mrs. Vanessa wanted to say something about the fireworks, which I think she, didn't you want to say something about the fireworks?
Wake her up like
Yeah.
that.
I told Wallace, that's okay. Last night on the west side, I don't know where these fireworks was coming from, but there were loud booms from like 11 to almost 12:30. Now, I had a couple of people come by this morning to tell me that they're concerned because people are not shooting fireworks off in a field anywhere. They're concerned about the wood porches and their roofs.
And it's dry.
And it's very dry.
We do have a fireworks ordinance, and Chief, if you can step up maybe to the patrols, and it's that time of year.
They didn't call us about it.
No, nobody called you, because I was going out on my porch and in the back trying to figure out where it was coming from. I never did figure it out. I asked Sharon, she couldn't figure it out either. You could just hear it. So I don't know where they were coming from.
We'll try to pinpoint that in form of the ordinance.
Okay. And you know what? I do have one more thing to tell you. August the 8th, I will be in Chicago speaking to a Brownfield convention about the transfer station. So Paris will be on the map. We know you're on the map anyway from when we work with Groundworks, but you can be proud that they asked us to come and talk about this.
Really good.
Awesome. Well, good.
Yeah.
You doing it? Are you doing the presentation?
Yes.
Boy.
Along with Sherry Weedman. Sherry Weedman will be there too. We're gonna use the roadmap.
Oh, great, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I don't have anything other than move to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.8101C. Discussion of proposed litigation on behalf of the public agency.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Stand adjourned for executive session.